a beautiful vision, and some might even say that it's necessary. But I think a lot of people worry: is it realistic? Is it going to be realized? And the issue is for a lot of people that the political incentives don't seem to be geared to producing the kind of change that we need and lead to the realization of this vision. I was impressed by an essay that Emmanuel Macron wrote, where he spoke of two temporalities, which is the short-term framework in which politicians operate, and the need to address the immense challenges with longer-term, often politically unpopular strategies, and that those two time frames are quite different. And I feel that very acutely in our country right now, for example. So, I wonder if you could talk about the trade-off between, short-term economic and political gain incentives and the longer-term challenges facing our environment, including the need for clean water, and the way to kind of redirect the ship so that it's heading in the right way, because it doesn't seem to be at this point.
I was thinking at ways in which we can strengthen our hope, because you're right. If we look at the current situation, we have plenty of reasons to be hopeless and or to be, even despaired, and this is not going to help us to be creative. So I would think if it would be possible to identify best practices, ways in which we in the concrete, in paying attention to the short-term context, we already are planning for the future. I want to give one example. Wangari Maathai, Nobel Peace Prize, Kenyan, who launched an initiative engaging women in Kenya. We are talking about a context where women are not considered, players, we could say, in the social context, or to say more positively, who long for empowerment. And she created the Green Belt movement that aimed at promoting reforestation. So community of women, groups of women grew trees and planted trees throughout the country. A simple, concrete practice that focusing on the short-term empowerment and economic, we could say, engagement of groups of women, at the same time was planning for the future. So combine the short term and the long term. If we turn now to Pope Francis, it seems to me that he is not satisfied of what he did in Laudato Si as a sort of prophetic call to engagement in the short term, but with a view for the long term. And two clear and direct and practical initiatives, it seems to me, indicate how he wants to implement that vision, not alone, but with others. He wants really to begin to realize the vision that is indicated and proposed prophetically in Laudato Si. The first one is the synod, the gathering of all the ecclesial forces from the Amazonian region. It just finished in Rome, and this gathering is particularly relevant for anything that concerns the environment because of the importance of the region for the whole globe, but also because there has been a strong awareness on the need to protect the forest by the locals, by the indigenous populations, trying to resist to any way in which powers wanted to take advantage of that planetary resource, protecting water, protecting trees, protecting ways in which the indigenous people preserve the biodiversity. And Pope Francis wanted to support this concrete way of being engaged locally with an agenda that is promoting integral ecology, and wanted also to make that a sort of exemplar for the whole world. And the second initiative is forthcoming, and it is next March 2020, and it is a focus global gathering on the economy. So the conversation that we just had briefly on work as an essential dimension of W2C is part of the agenda of Pope Francis, and he wants to help positive forces to gather and see how we can, in the area of the economy, promote economic ecology that will have an impact, a positive impact in the short term and the long term.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you for watching the Future Frogmen Conversation Series. Please check out our website at www.futurefrogmen.org.